seems that I'm muted. Testing. Can you hear me now? Oh, okay, well, I'll start over. I thought I was talking to an audience. All right. So my mic was off somehow. Um, all right. Take two. Hello everyone. Welcome to this stream about Breach Wanderers. Breach Wanderers is a roguelike deck builder and that tries to combine the concepts of games such as Magic the Gathering and Hearthstone, where you collect cards, unlock boosters, and create your own decks, and mix it with the single-player RPG aspects of games like Slay the Spire, which I found very appealing because I got a bit tired personally of all the PvP and the RNG that was in Magic and Hearthstone, but I really liked the Slay the Spire formula of, oh, you can still play a deck builder but also be single player. My issue with it though was that you had very little control over what you actually ended up playing. So and I really like the feeling of like unlocking new cards and having this feeling of, oh, this would fit great in my deck. So this is why I made this game. So by the way, this is a QA stream, so anytime you have any questions, just feel free to ask them and I'll make sure to answer them. So in Breach Wanderers, you have this town where you can unlock various bonuses and upgrades. So the quest board, you can purchase quest slots and it will let you finish quests for rewards in the game. So basically they help you progress faster and you can re-roll them easily, and I like the idea of these quests because they can sometimes give you inspiration of like, oh, I'll play a deck that fulfilled this quest, and it might lead you to try a different kind of deck that you haven't thought of before. The market here lets you purchase bonuses before a run. So for this one, I've purchased a Phoenix Feather and a Shield Tonic that will increase my max shield and give me one chance at surviving a death. But the more you buy them, the more the cost increases. So it's at the beginning you just want to buy one or two because otherwise they might prevent you from buying more permanent upgrades. Speaking of permanent upgrades, in the Forge here you can purchase various permanent upgrades that'll make the game a bit easier for you, and they are really needed because the game gets quite difficult as you play, so you do want to upgrade your characters with the Forge. So currently we have 6 characters in the game. When the game fully releases, I expect to have either 8 or 10 characters, but we really have many ideas for new characters and we love creating new ones, so I wouldn't be surprised if we ended up adding more after release. I could easily see the game having maybe 12 or 16 characters, or maybe even more, who knows. Today we'll be playing with Rauden, which is the starter character. He's a very well-rounded mage. He specializes in frost and freezing his foes, and he has a lot of mana, and overall he's really fun to play. So I'll be creating a new deck. I won't spend too much time on it, but just so that you guys can see what's up with Breach Wanderers and what's this concept behind creating decks. So here I'll call it Big Spells, and I'll be making a deck about casting big spells. So here I have 2 different decks I have to build. So the deck represents the cards that I will start the game with. So every game I'll start with the same cards, and these are the cards from the deck. Then my pool are the cards that will be presented to me after each fight. So I can choose which cards I'll be seeing from my enemies, and so there's still a randomness because I don't know exactly which card will be shown, but I know, at least I know the pool of them, so I can still orient my decks in a certain direction. So for this deck I'll be trying to freeze my enemies and cast big spells at them. So I'll be focusing on cards that give a lot of mana. So personally I like one of this one, mana shield is good because it's very simple, but it shields you and it gives you some mana, so it's pretty good. This one gives a lot of mana, but sometimes it has a downside too, so I'll only pick one. And then Chilling Focus is just a great card that applies mana and freezes enemy a little bit. I'll explain freeze when we start the game. So I'll try this one to show off the treasures. They're fun and they help you quite a bit. And I'll just keep adding a few cards. I like adding some more expensive cards. So Ice Blast, this one, maybe this one, and why not? Is this too many expensive cards? Maybe I'll use this one as a more defensive card, and then for my pool I'll be adding a lot of these mana cards, something to freeze enemies. I'm going fast because I know this may not be the, like, if you don't know all these cards it may not be super exciting, but still you'll see the concept. So here in the pool you have limited amount of epic cards that you can add, and after that you have to fill the pool with these cards of a lower rarity. So while I do this, I will also start answering the first few questions. So the first question I have on my list is, will you be adding new characters to play as? And the answer is yes. I even have 2 characters that are already drowned, so now I need to design their cards and abilities and all that. But I'm very excited about these 2 characters, and I think they'll be very fun. I won't go too much into detail about them quite yet because I like when players have the surprise, and they are also not finished, so I'd rather wait a little bit before sharing too much. And I think I could add also a few more defensive cards. Oop. Like Mind Shield. Can you not hear me, Vlad? Alright, oh, one more feature, something we just added this patch, is actually the ability to add specific card backs to the game. So I'll get this one because I think it looks great. But yeah, you can buy them with gold and adder that you unlock while playing the game, and then you can just choose a little icon to represent your deck. Since it's a Frost dex about big spells, I'll use this one. So here we go, let's start playing. So in this game you have a concept of depth, which determines the difficulty of the game, but also how far you can go. So if you start on the first depth, you only have one area to go through, and the enemies will be quite easy. Then if you go to depth 2, it's 2 areas and more difficult enemies. And then depth 3 is currently the highest you can get, and it'll have 3 areas, and then the enemies are also quite difficult all the way. So this is the one I'll go for this time. And quick play is when you want to feel like you're playing a little more like Slay the Spire. So in quick play you can't choose your deck and you can't choose your card pool. Instead, your card pool will be all of the cards you've unlocked so far. So sometimes if you really don't know what you want to play like, you'll just you click quick play and then you go and you just wait and see what the game gives you. So it's nice having the option there, but I personally prefer playing with my own decks. So let's get started. So frost applied by cards, this will increase the frost that all my cards apply, so I think that's a great first pick. So because of the Forge upgrade I had before the game, I'm allowed to start the game with an item already, so I'll use that privilege right away. And here we are in the first map, so you can scroll and see like, oh okay, so this is the boss I'm gonna face. So it's one guy, this big guy, and these 2 small guys, and you can look at the rewards that the boss will give you. So, and you can do that for all the enemies. So this is really useful to help you plan your runs, because every time you defeat an enemy, you will get shown 2 cards from your card pool, and then 1 card that's decided based on the kind